Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reading the highest rated book and the lowest rated book on my Goodreads TBR. I did a video like this, I think it's been 2 years ago now. I'll link it in the cards, and from what I remember, Goodreads was accurate. I already know which books are going to be chosen, so let me walk you through it. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you are subscribed down below. I'm posting every single Thursday, so don't want you to miss that. And leave a comment down below letting me know what your highest rated book on your Goodreads TBR is. I'm very curious. The way that we're doing this is we're going to the want to read list on Goodreads. We're sorting it by average rating, and here are the rules. I'm not reading a nonfiction book for this video, and I'm also not reading a book that hasn't come out yet. So the first two are books that aren't out yet. 1, 2, 3, 4 are nonfiction. The first fiction book on this list is The Will of the Many, and I've been seeing everybody read this book recently. I've had it on my TBR for over a year now. It's on my January TBR. I am really excited about it. Some of my friends have read this and loved it, and it's a little bit chunky, but like I think that's not that big of a deal. I have the audiobook because I used an Audible credit on it literally a year ago, and then I have the ebook for my Kindle, so I don't have to hold this gigantic book. This is going to be the book we read that's the highest rated. I'm really excited about this one. The Will of the Many has an average rating of 4.59 stars, 194,637 ratings. So definitely trust that this is a good book. The lowest rated book on my TBR is one that I added to my TBR. I think I saw it on Goodreads, or I saw it somewhere, and it sounded like a really interesting premise. It is The Extinction of Irina Ray, and this has an average rating of 3.19 stars. It only has 5,146 ratings. I tried to read this last summer, I want to say, and I read a couple chapters and just like wasn't in the mood for it, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it. The premise of this one is there's this author, Irina Ray, and whenever she writes a book, she invites all of her translators into like the forest or to a house together, and they all translate her book together, and this time around she disappears. But I feel like it would be really interesting. I'm really interested in translation. It's like something that I studied a little bit in college that is fascinating to me how it works. This seems like a cool mystery. I'm not sure why people don't like it, but to be honest, 3.19 is not so bad. Like, but I am curious what I end up thinking about this one because I feel like I'm gonna like it. So, two very different books, very different genres, very different sizes, very different average ratings. Normally I would start with the worst rating one, but because this one is so big, I'm gonna start with The Will of the Many first, and we'll see what we think. All right, I have to head to work now, but I think that I will start this later tonight, and I will update you once I've gotten a little bit into it. Hi guys, it has been days since I filmed that intro clip, and I have not started The Will of the Many yet, but this video is supposed to go up in a week and I gotta get reading, and I might listen to the audiobook a little bit tomorrow. I'm driving to New Hampshire, so I'll have some time in the car, but I wanted to start it tonight. I have it on my Kindle because it's a really big book and I don't want to hold it up, and I also already packed it in the car. I am going to read a little bit before I fall asleep. I'm a little nervous. It seems kind of intimidating. Oh, it starts off with the ranks. I've heard about this. From what I understand, there's a ranking system, and the higher you rank, the more people you receive will from, which I think is like strength. So the bottom receives will from nobody, which is Octavius. Part 1. The first sentence is, I am dangling, and it is only my father's blood-slicked grip around my wrist that stops me from falling. I think I'm gonna have trouble with first person in this book, but hopefully I can just get used to it. Sometimes I have trouble with first person. I don't like it as much. Anyway, I am going to read the beginning of this book as I fall asleep, and I will update you guys tomorrow after I've gotten a little bit into it what my initial thoughts are, but just wanted to pop in and say that I'm actually reading the book now. I'm excited. I feel like it's gonna be really good. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night. reading, and I wanted to give you an update on The Will of the Many because I've been reading it a little bit. I'm on page 124, chapter 2024. The chapters are Roman numerals. There's a lot of the book left. I am enjoying it. I feel like it's not like super keeping my attention yet, and all of the names are so confusing, and everybody has like 3 different names that they're referred to as, like their real name, then like the name based on their hierarchy. I don't know, I feel like they'll have like 3 names and I'm having a hard time keeping track of everybody, but it is interesting. We're about to start like the school part of the book. Our main character definitely has some secrets that like we as readers don't know yet either. I'm interested to see where it goes, but yeah, definitely there's like a lot happening and it's hard to understand everything. Anyway, that's the update for now. Just got back from the rock gym, waiting for my turn in the shower, but I will update you guys if anything interesting happens in the book, but just wanted to come on here because I haven't really talked to you since I started the book. That's it for now. Hi friends. It has been a few days. I feel like I have not been consistent in giving you updates reading this, but honestly, it's so big and like still nothing is happening. Like things are happening for sure, but the pacing is just so slow. Also, ignore the pile of clothes behind me. I did wash every single thing I owned yesterday because I think my laundry detergent was giving me eczema. So I switched my laundry detergent, washed literally everything I own. Hopefully that does the trick. We'll see. Anyway, I'm on page 425 of 625. We're really getting somewhere. Feeling like only 200 pages left sounds like so little, but I'm not enjoying this as much as I anticipated. I've been mostly listening to the audiobook because I just have had lots of things to do. I like the audiobook. It's been good. I feel like it took until literally 50% of the way through for me to be like, oh, something interesting is happening now. But we're really just following him at this like academy learning. I'm a little confused with the point, like what they're training them for. I know they're training them to like get jobs in the government, whatever, but there's some of it that I'm like, I don't really know what the point of it is. And he's kind of like working undercover for multiple people on different sides, and I know his goal is just to do what is best for him to survive. Overall, I'm confused. I'm a little bored, and like I said, I thought was gonna happen, I am having trouble with the first person. Just the writing of like, I stand stiffly and march to the door, unbolt it. I leave, slipping out into the boisterous night before she can respond. I don't love first person, like using verbs in first person. Something about that really just like is not my favorite. Lots of people love first person. I just think from observing books that I've enjoyed versus not, something about first person just really throws me off. But anyway, I do wonder why so many people love this one, and I kind of have a feeling like something very drama is gonna happen at the end, because like nothing is happening. It's like, okay, let's go to class now. Oh, we have to fight each other. Okay, let's train for a chapter. All right, time to fight. And there's like some moments of excitement. There was one, like the moment halfway through where I felt like, oh, something interesting is happening, was like jaw drop reveal. I was listening to it in the grocery store yesterday and I was like, whoa, what? If you've read it, it's like the thing that happens right in the middle. I will be finishing this today for sure because I really want to get this video up tomorrow, which means also I still have to read this book, but this one is much shorter and I have the audiobook for this one too. So that's my update for now. We'll see how I feel as I continue to read this. If something exciting happens before the end, I'll let you know. I probably will film my reaction to the end because I feel like everybody always cries at the end of this book that I've seen. So like something crazy is gonna have to happen, but it's just, I'm not connected to the main character. I feel like we're dragging a lot of stuff out and I can't be like super invested in what he has going on for some reason. So interesting that this is the highest rated book because everybody has their own opinions on things always. So that is all I have to share with you. I have some work to do today and then probably I will listen to this as I put away literally all my clothes because they're all back there, all of them. That's all. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. almost done this book. I'm feeling no different than I was the last time I talked to you. I have about 70 pages left. I've been listening to the audiobook basically all day, and I am going to sit and read this book physically, I think, because to be honest, I really just want to finish it. I wish that I was enjoying it more than I am, but I don't know. I just can't. I can't get into it, and I think it's like past the time where that's gonna happen. But I still have hope that the ending is gonna be crazy, because I feel like with a book like this where so many people love it, there has to be a reason, and I have this inkling that it's gonna be at the end. So I'm gonna lay here on my bed, TBH, and read the rest of this book. Yeah, I'm not loving it, but it has 70 pages to redeem itself. So we'll see what happens, and I will talk to you guys when I am finally done reading it. The Will of the Many, because I feel like this was one that was really overhyped, and I tend to align with the general public on books like these. Depending on the authors, I know there are some that I won't like, but this was one I really thought that I was going to like, and like I keep saying, I was just bored. Like, I feel like there was not enough to keep me on the edge of my seat, and I had a really hard time with the first person. I think that really brought down the quality of writing for me and made this less of an enjoyable read for me in the end. The last like 2 pages, crazy plot twist, sort of like drama reveal, I guess you could say, but I don't think that definitely wasn't enough to compensate for the rest of how I felt about this book. I kind of think that people fall into the trap of rating books 5 stars when they get a really shocking ending. This one's definitely not getting 5 stars from me because of the ending. Yeah, my final rating for this one is going to be, I think I'm gonna give it a 3.75. Not my favorite, but this is definitely a book that I would recommend. Maybe I would say to Red Rising fans, maybe to Harry Potter fans, maybe to Star Wars fans, and maybe to Hunger Games fans. But definitely if you liked Red Rising, I think that this is a book you would enjoy. I just like really couldn't connect with the male main character in the way that he was written, and it was just dragged out too much. But I really didn't like Red Rising, and lots of people love that book. So feeling like this felt similar to Red Rising, so that's sort of where that comparison is drawn. But anyway, those are all my final thoughts on The Will of the Many. I have a few, maybe like a couple more hours before I'm going over to my friend's house for the night, and I really need to get started on this book. So this is interesting because The Will of the Many was the highest rated book, and this is the lowest rated book, but I kind of think I'm gonna really like this one. So maybe this will be like flip-flop of what Goodreads is telling me, and we'll see. I'm really interested. So I think I'm gonna put on one of those like read with me for 30 minutes videos and just get into this book a little bit, and I will check in with you once I've started it, give you a little vibe update of the plot, and we'll see how this one goes. Hello, my friends. I'm going to bed now. I've been so sleepy all day. My update is that I'm a little bit into this book. I did not read that much this afternoon because I read for like 20 minutes and then was like, oh, it'd be so nice if I close my eyes. And I like kind of napped, kind of didn't for 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I've just like been super sleepy today. So hopefully I can get a good night's rest tonight. Okay, I'm on page 66, I think. There are only 300 pages in this book, so I don't think I will have a problem finishing this guys tomorrow given how many pages I was able to get through today. So far, this is basically a story about this group of translators, and they come together at the author's house every time she writes a book somewhere in Poland, and they all translate her novel for her into their respective languages. And in this one, she disappears. Not really sure what her book is about. It's very cult-like, their process of all of this. They have all these unspoken rules. They call each other like Czech, Polish, German, like based on whatever their language is. They don't refer to each other by their names. But now that the author's gone, they're kind of like starting to drift away from the random rules that they've decided for themselves. They're trying to figure out what to do. They are kind of adrift without this author. Like, they all are like obsessed with her. Every time she's around, she's like this god to them almost. So it is interesting. There's a little bit about language in here, which I'm finding interesting, which I thought I would be. It's a little bit, there's a word for like something that's very academic or like thoughtful, like smart in a kind of haughty way. I'll put the word up on the screen if I can figure out what it is. That's what this book is giving me the vibes of. I'm not enjoying it, but it's definitely like there's not a lot going on. I don't think there will be a lot going on through the rest of the book, but I do think it'll be interesting. It is kind of reminding me of like The Secret History or like Bunny, where there's like this academic sort of cult tight-knit group of people, and in this one they've lost their leader, so it is interesting. Don't think this one's gonna be a 5-star, but I'm not enjoying it. I'm gonna read a little bit. Hopefully I will be asleep in the next 10 minutes, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hi friends. I wanted to give you guys an update on my reading, but before, literally look at this. It's so snowing out. It just started flurrying and then the snow is coming down really heavy. Anyway, it's so beautiful out. It's kind of slowed down a little bit. Just had to share. I love living in Vermont. It's been such a snowy winter. It's like the best thing ever. Anyway, I'm reading, and that's what we're here to talk about. I have made it past the halfway point. We are on page 162 out of like about, yeah, 304. I've been listening to it mostly all morning. I'm really enjoying it. I really like how messy the characters' relationships are with each other. They're like obsessed with Irina, who's the author woman that disappeared. So interesting to watch them crumble basically without her and try to figure out how they can find her and what they should do, and realizing like kind of the way that they've been operating is a little crazy. I'm enjoying the like interpersonal relationships between all of the translators. I really do like the writing. I was thinking about this because I know I talked a lot about how I didn't like first person that much in The Will of the Many. This is in first person. It's not really bothering me, and I think I've figured out what it is. I think I've said this before, like if first person is written in a way that sounds like third person, where they're adding lots of metaphors and descriptions and stuff, I don't like that, because who thinks like that? But this first person is written in a way that makes sense. Like you can tell that this person is a very thoughtful academic sort of character. So lots of the things she's thinking are like that, but it's not like, oh no, the leaves were like speckled with light from the sun coming up in the morning. I hesitated because I wasn't sure how to broach the subject and didn't want to make her feel any worse. A lot of the stuff that they're talking about is emotions and feelings, which makes sense to think about in your head as yourself and like relay in first person. So just some thoughts about narration. I've been thinking about this a lot because I feel like this is a common theme for me, especially with some of the more like popular fantasy books that have been out recently. I am enjoying this one. It's not going to be a 5-star, but it's definitely feeling like 4-star, maybe above, depending how the rest of the book goes. Yeah, it just has this like academic, like, I don't even know how to explain it. There's this vibe about it that is a little bit remnant of The Secret History. There's this big thread about mushroom and fungi, and I kind of think that's what the author's book that they're translating is about, but they're not really sure because they only get pieces of it at a time. So anyway, those are all my thoughts on this book. I don't really think I'll have much more to share before the end of it, so I'm gonna read, I'm gonna listen to this some more, make myself some lunch. I will update you guys when I'm done. I just finished The Extinction of Irina Ray. This was a really interesting book. I think that I'm going to rate it 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite book, I think, because of the genre that it was, but I really enjoyed it. I really loved the way that the obsession with the author was written, that all these people that are brought together to translate her works, every time she publishes something new, they are obsessed with her in a way that's like next level. It was written so well, and I really liked how like eerie the story was. I liked how we had somewhat of an unreliable narrator, because the way the story is written based on the footnotes and the beginning, there's a note from the translator. We know that this is translated and there's somebody in this group that's writing the book and somebody else that's translating it, and although they keep doing the, oh well, this is a work of fiction, like implied that it was based on what really happened, the author of this book really hates the woman who's the English translator, and the English translator of course is the one that's translating this because it's in English. There was some back and forth between them in the translation footnotes and the actual book, which I thought was really fun. I feel like there was just like a little bit too much going on, which is why I'm not giving it higher than a 4 stars, but overall I thought that this was a really fascinating book. If you liked The Secret History, I would recommend this. It's a very academic book, not in an academia way, but in a way of like people who sit around and think about their work, and their work is very academic and thoughtful and intelligent. That's the sort of vibe that this book brings. Overall, glad I finally read this one. The audiobook was really great. I thought it was funky in a really unique way. Like I haven't read something much like this before. So 4 stars for this one, which is higher than what the Goodreads average rating is. And this one, I've sat on it for about a day now. I'm bringing it down to a 3.5 because I've decided that I really didn't like it. I shouldn't say that. I really didn't enjoy reading it. I didn't think it was a bad book. That's why it's getting 3.5 stars. I think that the way the ending was, I probably will like the second book better, but we'll see. Obviously, you guys will find out. I always do wrap-ups at the end of the month, so if I don't finish it in January, you'll see it maybe in my February wrap-up. I want to read the second one close enough to this that I remember the whole world and everything. Interesting experiment compared to the last time I did this video is opposite of what Goodreads said, which is also opposite of what I kind of expected. So if you guys want to see me do this video again, definitely let me know. Happy to have both of these books off of my TBR because they've been on my TBR for a long time, and let me know your thoughts on them. If you've read either of these before, I would really love to know what your thoughts are, especially if you have a positive opinion of The Will of the Many. I would really love to know why, because I feel like this one was so well loved. I'm curious what people saw in it that I didn't see in it. Defend your 5-star review in the comments if you have one for this book. With that, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more videos from me. My TBR video should be coming out next week, which is really fun, I think. I'm excited about this one, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends.